my uncle, Oliver Shalom, Shmimotcha ben Shimon. Those of you who know, his life started in Hungary. He lived in a town, Tokai, in Hungary. And no need to say he went through the World War II, the Holocaust, and all these Sirim. And finally, the end of the day came last night. He had a massive heart attack and he was nifter. He was nifter to say the Teuve, almost nifter the Mises Neshika. It's a big zechiz. Unfortunately, he did not leave kids. In one way, biological kids he didn't leave, but he did leave a whole family, more than one. And the only reason that they survived is because of my uncle Putu and his wife, should have Rafia Shalema, Al Chaim. There's a lot to say, and the fact that I didn't sleep all night, I was there, no courage to continue, very painful. But certainly, he is closing half of the chapter of history, what our parents and our elders went through in the Holocaust. Not too much more left to go. And it's important to hear, and we will hear a lot of stories, comments from his life, his revolving life in America. And after that, his desire was to lay the rest of Yerushalayim. We'll honor that. For most of his life, he was a very quiet man for himself. He davened in a shul. Never most of them. The Ruf, certainly the Takai Ruf, was not around for a long time. Never most probably closed by attrition. Some retired, some went to Israel, some retired, and some never are not here with us anymore. But there's one person which I recollect from my younger years when I used to occasionally be with him or with them for Shabbos, and I used to go to shul, and we used to go to Tokai. There's one landsman here that spent basically knew him most of his entire adult life, maybe even more than that, I don't know. And his name is Shali Rosenberg. I'll ask him please to come up and be Master Shali Rosenberg.
We came here to give the last word. My good friend, the landsman, Shmimotcha Shimon. We grew up together in the town of Tokai. Actually, we were next door neighbors. And Patu's father and my father were very good friends. We davened at the same Medrash in Tokai. And Patu and Itzo were friends all these years. It's very sad that Nebuch Itzo cannot be here, but what I understand, Baruch Hashem, she's getting better. And Patu will be a Melitz Yosher for her that she should have a Refuah Shalem of Him. This week's Parsha will say, Kisvoy al Urat, as the Shem Noisen Afro Rishta. So Patu found that final destination, Urat. He's coming to Eretz Yisrael, which is, he was very medagdik that he should be able to be buried in the Har Menucha. Mostly was medagdik that his mother here many years ago from Tokai, which wasn't very easy to do. that she's also buried in the Har Menucha, and it's Putu and Itzas noch 120 Jahre hat Keber in Har Menucha. The uncle already said before that Putu survived the Holocaust. He is the only one survived from his family. He had a large family, and he was the only survivor. I was there when they got married. I think it was very good. The second marriage in Tokaj after the Holocaust was the biggest wedding those days. Was in Kerestur, in Bodro Kerestur. And they wound up after all in America. And that's where he lived his whole life together with Itzam. And it's a sad ending, because the last few months he was in the hospital. And I don't think Itzam knows what's happened here. So he goes now to his final destination. So we ask, he didn't have children, but Baruch Hashem, as I look around here, he left a beautiful family, nephews and nieces, who cared for them all these years. Also, even though he had no children, his nephews and nieces were his children. And he really cared about them very much. He considered them as his own children. So, again, what you, Shematzko Bereshimon, you should be amazed that your wife should have a refuah shalei b'meilu. You should have Melis Yosef for your nephews and nieces who loved you, and for the whole Klal Yisrael. Bilamu esan etzach nechum duvalu b'etzmaim amen.
What's his first name? That's what I said. Shimon? No, it can't be Shimon. His father's Shimon.
We'll continue forward. Like Shali prefaced a little bit, his nephews and his nieces were his children. As a matter of fact, he reminded me that when he was recently in the hospital, he told one of his aides or nurses, he says, "You see what good kids I have." I want to tell you that we should all learn from my sister Yidish's children how to treat, never mind an aunt or an uncle, how to treat parents, how to treat family, how to treat loved ones. The dedication that they had day and night, I have never in my life experienced such dedication. Not for anything. There was no external motive. There was just the dedication and the payback for what Naomi and Putu did to them is not to. I've never seen it. I even heard it from outside people, not directly family, that could not believe the dedication day and night. Shimi, Sholi, Shai, Perlaila, Dover, they gave their days and night, left his business. I think Shimi left his business already for 2 months, 3 months. We've been with first it started with Itzadainis. She's been in and out of a hospital for months and nursing homes. Shimi opened up his nursing home and gave her royal treatment. Shai, Sholi, Dover. There's nothing to compare. I cannot believe, and nobody could believe the dedication that they gave them. Not for nothing, it really was Akur Satoiv, what Naini did to them, how dedicated Naini was day and night. There was no, the 24/7 that Naini was ready, willing, and able to help them, to be there next to Yiddish in her good times, in her bad times, in her hard times. And I am sure that my uncle Shmuel Matzav and Shmuel Matzav and Shimon will be a meditation, like Shali said, for everybody, including especially these kids that really were moist and nefesh for him day and night. I will ask, we'll start from Ma'al Bakoidish, we'll start from the youngest up, and I'll ask Sholi, Yiddish son, youngest son, to come up and be masked.
Yankel really alluded to this before, but today marks a huge chapter in the history of our family. It's an enormous chapter. It's something that is hard to really be able to understand. After all, it's just a great uncle. It's hard to really understand that. But Putu has been an icon in our family for as long as anybody in this room can really remember, since any of us, including the generation above me, remembers as kids. My mother, Yankel, Sholi, Agi, everybody, the Labels, everybody remembers Putu from the time they were born. And this is something that it takes the mind a lot of time to be able to process and understand that something that you know your whole life isn't there. Last night was the first time I was ever present at a passing of somebody, and really it was such a, in a certain way, it was a great experience, and it was a privilege to be there. I wouldn't want to have had it any other way. And looking around the room last night and seeing Shimi and Yankel and Shai and me there at the exact moment, and of course Agi was there last night, and Fagi and Brandy and Dov and Plylo came, but at the moment, and we watched the heart monitor. We were watching it like it was watching it go down. First his breathing stopped, and then 5 minutes later his heart stopped.